Hello Living Dead Dolls fans, this is Josh, aka Doggiepants, and I'm coming at you in partnership with Mezco Toys for another Living Dead Dolls review. So today I'm actually going to be reviewing a set that came out just a little bit ago, maybe about a month or so ago, and that is the Resurrection Series 9 regular dolls. I've already done the review of the variants because I happened to get those first, but then I got these ones in and I thought, hey, you know, whatever, let's do the review and we'll show a comparison of the two. But yeah, so like always, I'm going to start with my least favorite and go to my favorite. But again, these are Resurrection dolls. It's like splitting hairs. So, you know, whatever your opinion is, maybe different than mine, but yeah, don't fret. All of them are fantastic. So I'm going to start with the coffins first, like I always do. These are exactly the same coffins as they are for the variant set. So the plastic over top says Living Dead Dolls in the silver, like always. And then we've got a sticker here that says 2015 Con Exclusive, Mezco Toys. It's orange and black, same as the variant versions. And I've mentioned this in the other video, but one really nice thing about this Resurrection set is that each one of the chipboards is unique to the doll. So I'm going to hold this up. This one is in fact Elizabeth Bathory, so you can see right there's a bed with a little hatchet in her hand, right? And it says Resurrection 9, Lizzy Borden. It's got the little Living Dead Dolls logo there. And then the tissue paper on the inside is red. So yeah, it's a pretty standard coffin. That's pretty much all there is to it. Bam! I'm going to put this down and we'll keep moving. I'll show all of the chipboards to you as we go, just so you can see what they look like. But yeah, so I'm going to start with my least favorite and go to my favorite. And my least favorite with the regular set is the same as the variant set, which is Lizzy Borden. I do like her though. She's got kind of a unique hairstyle that we've never really seen before on a Living Dead doll, so I really think that that's super, super cool. But let's start with her outfit. So her outfit is actually all one piece. She's got witchy boots on, right? So the standard witchy boots. There's no socks on this doll. The skirt of this dress is kind of gathered around the bottom. There you go. So it's got some, what is that, pleating. It is black in color. And then the top is kind of like a darker blood red, right? So she's got a little bit of a puff sleeve here. It is a high neck collar, but there's no actual like collar coming down. So it's just, there you go. It's got a little bit of black detail, and you can't really see that around the sleeve. You can't really see that black detail is the same kind of lace that's up the front of the dress. So that is the same kind of lace that's right there around her cuff. And there are 3 buttons right here on this part of the dress that are just for show. Obviously, they don't do anything. It is all one piece, and it does Velcro up the back. Now, one of the cool things about Lizzy Borden is, in fact, her face paint. I love the glass eyes that they chose for this doll. I'm going to hold her nice and close so you can get a good look at it. They're very human, which is very different than they normally do for the Resurrection dolls, and I just kind of like it. It makes her super, super haunting. So yeah, so you're going to see there is a little bit of black airbrushing that goes around her eye. She's got kind of an easy, simple brown eyebrow there, a really simple red lip, and then she does have a little bit of blood splattering that comes down her face. Now you're going to notice the blood splattering is red, obviously, because the variant version is sepia toned, but this version, the blood was bright and in your face. Her hair is a brown kind of color. The hair on this doll is unique, right? So it's these tight curls. And it's pretty decently rooted, actually. There's no bald spots or anything like that. But it is a little unruly at times. So coming out of the coffin, I've seen a couple that the hair has been like a little funky. You kind of got to tame it and make sure it's under control. But it's pretty nice. I mean, I'm going to show you kind of the up-close version of it. So there is a little bit of a part right there in the center. And in my variant set, you can see the part a little bit more. But you can kind of mess around with her hair to make it pretty much anything you want, but it's still going to be those tight curls, right? She's a great doll, though. Super, super cool. She does come with one accessory, obviously. It's the same giant axe that we saw on the original Lizzy Borden. It's got some blood on it there, and it does have a little peg that you can stick in her hand so she can hold it. Oh, I do want to mention, too, the hand that she is cutting up her mom and dad with does have blood on it as well. So yeah, so that is Lizzy Borden. I'm going to hold her up to the variant version so you can kind of see the difference. Obviously, the major difference is the sepia tone, but she's got red hair, she's got brown. The eyes are the same. The design of these dolls were all the same. It was just a matter of color choices. So yeah, so there you go. That is Lizzy Borden. Moving on. All right, next up is Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper, who's the actual killer of this set. And I guess I should mention this. I mentioned this in the variant version. One really great thing about the Resurrection set this year is the way that they handled kind of the release of the dolls. And they did 13 clues for you to figure out who the 4 suspects of an unknown murder was, who the victim was, and ultimately who the killer was. It ended up being the killer was Jack the Ripper. But it was very, very cool. Extremely well done, Mezco. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, but anyways, back to the doll. So one nice thing about Jack the Ripper is he's got a million pieces to him, right? So let's start off, shall we? I'm going to start with, we'll pull this cape back. I'm going to start with his apron here. So it is extremely blood splattered, right? And there is a little pocket right here in the front. It is a working pocket, so you can stick his knife in there if you'd like. It does loop around his neck and tie in the back. But one nice thing is a lot of things with Living Dead dolls recently they've made so you can't take it off. They kind of loop it around, sew it in place or whatever, and then pop the head on so you can't take it off. But this apron you can, because even though it's a pretty tight loop around his neck, there's a little bit of Velcro right here in the right here in the top right corner. So you can just pull that Velcro back, and this comes off pretty easily. So you can display him without the bloody apron if you like him in his suit better. But his suit is really, really nice. So we're going to start with the pants. It's gray pants. There's some kind of reverse pleating right there in the pants. He does have standard Living Dead dolls black shoes with black socks. So there are socks on this doll. The pants and the undershirt are all one piece, but this vest is actually a separate piece, which is a really nice detail. So it's a black vest with some black buttons up the front, right? And there is kind of a little old school feel to it, so it does feel very period. But there's some Velcro here, so you can open this up as well. And then he has this white shirt underneath, right? So there's this little simple tie that he has. But one nice thing about this white shirt and his whole suit situation is that his white shirt actually has sleeves. We don't see that with a lot of Living Dead dolls. A lot of times when they have a kind of white undershirt, I'm thinking Damien, I'm thinking Gregory, they'll just make that shirt sleeveless because they don't want the bulk of it underneath the outfit. So he does have kind of white sleeves, and they look like they're rolled up, but those are stitched in place. There's some blood splattering on the white shirt or anything that was exposed that wasn't covered by the bloody apron that we just took off. So yeah, so that is the outfit underneath, and then obviously he's got this giant wool cape over top. It does have one kind of tier here that you can pop up if you like this kind of display for him. It's a really nice thick material. It's super well made, and it's going to be really hard to see, but I'm going to see if I can kind of show it off. Right underneath there's a little teeny gold chain that kind of holds it in place. Now, like I was saying before, this is made so that it doesn't come off. So it was put onto his body, and then the head was popped into place. So if you do want to take this off, you either have to, cut the gold chain, which I don't know why you would do that, or pop his head off to take it off. So just be aware of that. I'm not going to put his apron back on because it's a little difficult, and I don't want this video to be too long. But yeah, that is his outfit, minus the hat. So let's take a look at the hat. His hat, bam! It's kind of a standard Living Dead Dolls hat, right? So it's got that kind of felty material on plastic with a little bit of ribbon that goes around the bottom. The brim is not super wide on this one. Be aware that this plastic hat breaks really easily. I have a cracked blue hat. It's kind of a bummer. I want to get another one. So just be careful with them because they're really easy to break, especially if he tumbles off the shelf or something like that. You want to be careful. So that is his hat. And then one of my favorite things about him actually is his hair and his face makeup. So he's got that flocked hair that we first saw. Oh God, who first had that? I guess Sheena? Series 3, in the back of her head. So, but he's got some serious hardcore mutton chops. Look at those things. They're fantastic. Plus, he's a redhead. Those gingers. I dated a ginger. They're pretty sweet. Sorry. Sidetrack. Okay, so there we go. That is his hair. He's got a little bit of a widow's peak right there. And he's got pretty standard Living Dead Dolls orange eyebrows there. They kind of come up so he looks a little sinister. There's blood splattering obviously all over his face. He's got these really nice glass eyes. So they're red and then pink and then black. There is a little bit of airbrushing around his eyes as well and then a nude lip, right? It's pretty simple face paint, but really, really nice. He's haunting. He looks great. Yeah, but there we go. That is Jack the Ripper. Super, super cool doll. Let's take a look at his other version as well. Obviously, this one has the apron on. So you're going to notice that the sepia tone is obviously very apparent in this one because he has the apron on. But they actually look kind of close. One of the major differences is when you take off the hat of the variant, his hair is significantly darker. So he's not quite the hardcore redhead that the regular version is. But yeah, that is Jack the Ripper. Oh, one other thing. Jack the Ripper does come with a knife, obviously, because he has to have something to cut up his victims. It does have blood all over it. The variant version one, the blood is sepia toned as well. One nice thing about this knife is he is a curved hand doll, so his bloody hand, right, can easily hold this knife. Let me put it in here. There you go. So you can kind of pose him in a scary, menacing sort of way. So that's really nice. Jack the Ripper. Boom! Great, great doll. Next up, and this is where it gets a little bit different from my variant review. I'm going to go with Elizabeth Bathory, which might shock people. She is a bit of a fan favorite for this Resurrection set, and she is super freaking cool. But yeah, but whatever, splitting hairs. So let's take a look at the outfit. She also has the old school witchy boots that we first saw on, I believe, the regular version of Lizzy Borden. Sorry, my brain just stopped there. No socks on this doll, though. Be aware of that. There is a little bit of blood on her shoes because she is drenched in blood. And I don't think I noticed that on the other version because the blood is colored, significantly darker. But the bright red makes the blood show up a little bit more on her outfit. So her outfit is really, really fantastic. So we've got this giant skirt, right? Now this skirt looks like it's 2 layers. Here we go. So if you pull this back, you can kind of see an underlayer here. But this underlayer is tacked right along the inside. So it doesn't go all the way around the dress, but it is on the inside here. It is kind of a red color, which adds to the blood feel. And I'm going to hold it up close so you can kind of see the pattern on that. So there's these little, like, I don't know, circles or whatever. There you go. There is a lot of blood on the outside of this black. Now, I didn't notice it on the variant version so much because, again, the blood is darker. But this version, it really does pop all of the blood down the front of her dress. So there's that. Also on the side of this black over part of the dress, there is that same kind of lace that was on Lizzy Borden's front of her bodice. That same lace goes down the side here, and there are 2 little bows right here, boom and boom, on both sides. I'll hold that up so you can kind of get a good look. There you go, see? Again, covered in blood. This is attached here. It is all one piece, including underneath to kind of give it a little bit of shape. There is some tulle as well. So it helps it kind of puff out a little bit more, which is nice. I always like it when they do the tulle underneath these kind of dresses. So for the bodice, I'm going to pull this up so you can kind of get a good look. Right there, it appears that there's kind of a corset piece up the front, but don't be fooled, that is all one piece. So this shirt underneath this here is attached to this. This is kind of a satiny material. It's got a bit of a puffy sleeve and it comes down to a little bit more kind of a tapered feel on the arm there. There is some ribbon here that is covered in blood, and there's a little bit of a gold ribbon detail that goes around that kind of square neck for her period costume. Again, this is all one piece. It does Velcro up the back. Obviously, the best part of this doll, the coolest part of this doll, is her giant neck piece, right? So it is white. There's blood right down there, down the front of her dress. And the way that they did this is they kind of, they did the pleats in the neck piece, and there's one little string, I don't know if you can see that. Right there. That's kind of sewn around the entire thing that holds it in place. Now, one problem is there's no Velcro like on the original Elizabeth Bathory. There was Velcro that you could open up and take it off. You can't take it off. You'd have to pop her head off. But whatever, it's super cool. I don't know why you'd want to take it off anyways. So there we go. Blood. Her face paint is really, really nice. She also has the same kind of airbrushing around her eyes. She has a really hardcore black pupil, and then behind that black pupil, it almost looks a little yellowish white. And then she's got a really hardcore black lip, really severe kind of black eyebrows, and then the blood does drip down from her hair as well, because she's been bathing in the blood of virgins so that she can stay young, like you do on a Tuesday. So there we go. That's her. She has really, really fantastic hair. So you're going to notice that kind of like the way that they did Ruby from series 28, she's got her like bangs here are flattened down and they're held back, and then they're held in a little kind of ponytail in the back to kind of make sure that they stay. But that little piece is hidden by the collar, so it doesn't really matter. So that's what kind of plasters down her bangs like that. And then the rest of her hair is pulled back into this severe bun, right? And this bun has a really nice shape to it. So it's like really arched. It looks like she's got a hardcore bop it in there. Or not bop it. What's it called? You know what I'm saying. I don't know what it's called. Whatever. But it is gathered, and you're going to see that there's that top part of the hair is all bunched behind that giant bun in the back. There we go. So that's held in place with the clear kind of rubber band that we see them use for Living Dead Doll's hair constantly. But that is her hair. It's really, really nice. Now, one thing I noticed with this doll is her collar. So you're going to see that the collar has got a high point right here, right? It seems apparent that that's supposed to actually be flipped kind of under, especially in the back, to give it this shape. So every once in a while, it's going to want to fall or pop back up. And when it does that, her thing in the back gets a little flat. So you just want to make sure that that is turned underneath, at least in the back, so that it has the kind of right shape when you're displaying her. But that is her. She doesn't come with an accessory because she's been bathing in blood. She doesn't really need one. But yeah, let me hold up her variant version. So here you go. Now you're going to notice I actually really like the variant version. I like both of them. But there's something about the black that's really haunting. But one nice thing that I like about the regular version is that you can see the blood on her dress significantly more, right? The black looks like tar on this one, which is super, super cool, but it doesn't show up as much on the black dress. Yeah, but that is Elizabeth Bathory. And then obviously the last one left is the special doll from this set. So what was really cool about this Resurrection set is that there was a doll that has never been released in regular version in the Living Dead Dolls world before, and that's Fairy Faye. Fairy Faye is an actual possible victim of Jack the Ripper. So most people believe that she was actually kind of invented by this reporter, but who knows? Who knows? Because there's no real kind of history of Fairy Faye. So, but she is real in the Living Dead Dolls world now. She is a resurrection doll. Super cool. So here she is. Bam. I don't know why, but I just think she's so cool. And I love the variant version as well, but there's something about the really kind of bright yellow hair that she's got that really adds to her. Plus I like the dress in blue. Yeah, so let's take a look at this kind of period dress that they created. This is all one piece, just a heads up. But here we go. So there's a few tiers here, right? So we've got the bottom piece, and then it's got a little bit of pleating in the front. This piece is tacked underneath. So each one of these tiers is just kind of folded into the material. So boom, 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 boom. But it is tacked, so it can't be removed. And then this like belt part, right, that goes around the center, it does pull back into what is considered kind of like a giant bow or bustle in the back of the dress. It does look like you can untie it and take it off, but you can't. It's all tacked in place. And the way that they tacked it in the back is kind of nice. So they tied it, tacked it, and they put it on one side of the Velcro. So you can actually open up this dress and take it off her without messing with the bow itself, which is really nice. So you don't have to worry about getting that all messed up. So her neck, again, is kind of that square cut, right? She's got a little bit of elastic around these arm parts, so you can kind of bunch them up on her arm as high as you want. There's elastic right around the kind of wrist, and then a little bit higher on the arm too. So you can do some serious cool bunching on both sides, right? Which is helpful for this part because she doesn't have a hand, so it got cut off in some hardcore carnage that went down. But yeah, anyways, so that is the dress. She does have the witchy style boots. Has some blood right there on the front. I didn't notice that on the variant version either. That's the one problem with the variant version, is the black blood doesn't show up on some of their outfits. But that's okay. It does in the regular version. So obviously there's a lot of blood going on in the front of this dress. This girl is toe up. It's like rough, hardcore, poor thing. Blood on her hand right there. Obviously she has the same cut off hand that we saw on Gregory, however you want to pronounce it. It's blood, but there is a little bit of a bone sticking out there. One nice thing, I don't know if it's nice, but it's kind of interesting. So Gregory's puppet that's on his cut off hand, you can actually fit perfectly on hers as well if you'd want to do that for some reason. But where this doll really, man, is amazing is her face paint, right? And plus she's got the scary white glass eyes. I love when they use these. It really makes them look dead. It's super freaky, right? So there's her white eye. She has kind of brown smudging around her eyes as opposed to the airbrushing, so that feels a little like Series 2. There's a lot of blood on this doll. Plus, she's a torn face doll. So we've got the torn face and the exposed teeth, and the blood is just everywhere. Her eyebrows match her hair color. They are a little surprised, like Jack the Ripper caught her off guard. There's a cut right there at the top of her forehead. I mean, the blood is insane. One of the bloodiest dolls I think ever made for Living Dead dolls in the past. Then she's got this amazing blonde hair. The blonde hair, or the hair on Fairy Faye, is a little bit hard to manage. When she comes out of the coffin, some of it can be a little funky, so you may need to zhuzh it a little bit. I did a little bit of zhuzhing. She looks pretty good, I think. There is gel in this hair, but the gel is a bit necessary to kind of hold her curls into place, so just be aware of that. Her hair is not super thick. That is my only complaint about her, is I wish her hair was just a little bit thicker, but it's not terrible. Obviously, you can see there's no bald spots that are sticking out, so it could be worse, but it also could be better. But yeah, there she is, Fairy Faye, in all of her glory, right? She has no accessories either, because I don't know why she would. But yeah, but that is her. So let's take a look at her variant version. Boom. So obviously the yellow hair jumps out a lot more than the brown hair on this doll. You can see the smudging around the variant's eyes. It doesn't have that kind of smudging that we saw on Series 2 that is on the regular version. She has more airbrush than she does. So that is the major difference between the two, I guess, besides color. And then obviously the blood is black on her and red on her. So yeah, but that is Fairy Faye, you guys. So that's it. That is Resurrection Series 9. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this kind of gives you an idea on who you might want to get out and grab. This is a great Resurrection set. The way they handled this was so super, super freaking cool. I really, really love them. Oh, I forgot to show you all of the other coffins like I said I was going to do. I'm going to do it super fast. Totally out of order, but whatever. Jack the Ripper. So you can see Fairy Faye in the distance, right? He's got a knife. There's that. Elizabeth Bathory. Boom. There we go. She's bathing in a bathtub of blood. Countess Bathory. And then for Fairy Faye, they had a black plastic covering so that you didn't know what she looked like, because we never saw her until she actually showed up on people's doorstep. Which again, it's kind of fun, you know. Didn't know what she was going to look like. So there we go. Black covering. And then Fairy Faye, you just see kind of a torn up doll right there in the street after Jack the Ripper destroyed her. So yeah, but those are the coffins. Sorry that I didn't show them during the video, but whatever. Yeah, but that's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. So I know that it's been a little while and I'm behind. I haven't done my series dolls for freaking ever. I've got to get back to those, but so many dolls have been coming out from Mezco that I got to keep up with those ones. Speaking of, you're going to notice right back there, well, there she is. I have got the New York Comic Con Valpurgis doll back there. They sent me one really, really early, but asked me to hold off on reviewing it until after New York Comic Con. So that's coming fairly soon. Super great doll. You guys are going to love her when she shows up. But yeah, so that's probably going to be my next review unless I can find time to do Series 16. But yeah, but that's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. You are awesome. Get out and buy dolls because the only way that Mezco is going to keep making Living Dead dolls is if you buy them. So we want to get to Series 50. So if you want to get to Series 50, buy the dolls. They're amazing. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.
'Cause you can't chop your papa up in Massachusetts, not even if it's planned as a surprise. No, you can't chop your papa up in Massachusetts. You know how neighbors love to criticize.